Yo, Dankamyouknow, what are we looking at today? What's up, dude? We got a newcomer to the air cooler and PC fan game. These were made by Sudokoo, and they are actually a Singaporean brand. Shout out to Singapore. Indeed. Let's take an in-depth look at the air cooler and the fans. So here's a look at the SK700V, and it's a really sleek looking air cooler here that's available in black and also available in white. And we have a singular 120mm fan on this side, and then actually no fan on this side. And you actually don't even have the option to mount a fan on this side. So that's really interesting. But if we take a look at this angle right here, you can see this entire section is the heat sink, and then our fans over here. So this is a pretty big boy here when it comes to cooling. And then we've got our screen on this side, which we won't be able to see until I get it installed. And then we have this little protective cover and a note basically telling you to install the software so you can control the screen. And this has a maximum heat dissipation of 220 watts. So this can cool some seriously powerful CPUs. We've got 7 offset heat pipes here, which should make for some awesome cooling. And the reason these pipes are offset is so you have all of the RAM clearance that you'll need. And Sudokoo is saying you shouldn't have any issues with RAM clearance, which is definitely a concern when you're running air coolers. But based off this angle, it doesn't look like we'll have any problems. If we take a look at the bottom, we have a really colorful sticker here, which I thought was funny. And it says, warning, remove before installation, because that's definitely a rookie move a lot of people have made, leaving this on and applying it to your CPU, which is never a good idea. So we'll have to remove this when it comes time to install. But I thought that was funny. And then we have 2 connections. We have a 4-pin PWM connection for the fan, which will plug into a fan header. Then we have a USB 2.0 connection, which will plug into the motherboard so you can control the screen. And then if we grab it from the top and the bottom here and we just kind of pull up, we can actually separate these 2 pieces right here. And the reason why you'll want to do that is so you can install it. Now we have access to this screw over here. And then with this pass through right here, we have access to this screw. Really easy to take off and then put back on. You just kind of line it up and then boom, it is back in place and ready to go. So let's look at what it comes with. So we have information and support. And then here's the instruction manual for how to install it. It'll show you everything that it comes with, and then step-by-step instructions on how to install the cooler. We've got thermal paste here, because it does not come with pre-applied thermal paste, which some people don't like, but I actually prefer. I prefer to do my own pasting. And then it also comes with a spreader, which you actually don't see too often, and it's actually how I do all of my thermal paste applications. So that's really cool to see. Comes with some CPU cleaning. They call it grease cleaner. Then we've got tools to mount it. Got a Phillips head right here. Then it looks like we have this really interesting like Torx bit. I don't know exactly what they call it, but it's kind of a 6-sided star. Usually called a Torx, but it may be called something different. We have all the screws right here. And the reason you need these screws is for this piece right here. So because it's AM5 designated, it comes with this really nice plate right here. So you'll actually remove the CPU tray and fully install this on top, and then you can mount your cooler to these 2 poles right here. So really cool, and I've actually never seen this with a cooler before. So this is awesome, and you can see we have our cutouts right here for our AM5 CPUs. So this will be good for thermal paste coverage too, because sometimes without something like this, you can have thermal paste spread over, which can make it a little tricky to clean. But this will be installed in place of the CPU tray. So really beefy looking kit here, but let's go ahead and move on over to the fans. So here's all of the contents for the 3-in-1 pack for the Mach 120 fans. And here's the fan itself, and it's a really, really good looking fan. And these are 30mm thick, and they boast an extremely impressive 108 CFM. So these will move an absolute ton of air We have the hydraulic bearing in the middle, and it's a cool little window. And if we spin this, you can see it just stays stationary. So that's a really cool look. And we have these noise dampening pads to reduce vibrations. And we have these cool little side plates as well. And as far as the connections, we have one 4-pin PWM, and then we also have a piggyback here. So it looks like you can plug other fans into them. And these fans are 0.5 amps, so I would just make sure you know what your motherboard's fan headers are rated for before trying to daisy chain a bunch of these together into one header. But really good looking fan. And one really interesting thing is they're not RGB, but if you look at the back, there's this little switch. So there's actually little lights right here that Sudokoo says will kind of highlight the bearing. So you can actually turn it on and off. So we'll have to see how these look once we get these installed, but I've actually never seen anything like that on a fan. So that's really cool. And with these little side panels these have, you can actually remove them. So I took the liberty of removing this one. So you can remove these, and they actually have 3D printable files, so you can actually make your own. So that's actually really cool. Or you could just leave them off and you'll have this look right here, which I think actually looks pretty good. So I guess it depends on your build and what you're going for, but you have multiple options with how these fans look. So that's pretty cool. And these just pop on and off really easily. And actually, I don't think I'm gonna do this right now. Oh, there we go. Get this snap back in, boom. So now it's back into place. So let's talk about everything it comes with. So we have these PWM extensions right here. So this end of the fan can plug into here, and then this will go to your fan header. So if you, obviously this is a very short length right here. So if you need an extension, they include all that you'll need. We've got information and support, and we've also got the instruction manual for installing them. And then we have the screws needed to secure these to the case. So we have 4 of the coarse thread fan screws right here, which it's not focusing, sorry. So we have 3 sets of 4 right here. And one thing they did that was really interesting that you don't see too often, they included radiator screws. So if these are going against a radiator, they included 2 different lengths. Because you got to keep in mind these are 30 millimeters, so they are a bit thicker than normal fans. So they included 2 sets of radiator screws, which I thought was really interesting, and you actually don't see too often. So that's really cool to see. So let's see, is there anything else I'm forgetting about talking here? They do have these noise reducing pads right here, these dampening pads, which should reduce vibrations and noise. And these are also rated for under 40 decibels. So they can move a lot of air, and they're also fairly quiet too, depending on the RPM you're running. So really good looking fans, and I can't wait to get these installed. I'm liking the specs for both the air cooler and the fans, but I think it's time we install these. So the air cooler and the fans are installed, and I went ahead and I ran the software and I adjusted all of my fan speeds, and everything is working as it should be. In this case right here is the Frame 4000D from Corsair, and this side panel is slightly tinted, but even with the tinted side panel, you can see the digital screen is still very easy to read. And even when you go at some pretty egregious angles, we've got some good vision of the screen still. So you can still read it pretty much no matter where the PC is positioned compared to where you are. So it looks great back there. And then one thing I was really surprised with was how bright these hubs get. So I was talking about how there's the little switch and you've got a little LED in there, but you can see that it shines through really well. And it's cool that you can turn it off. So if you're not a fan of this and you kind of want the all blacked out look, you can go ahead and do that too. But those are much brighter than I expected them to be. So if we step back here, you can see those actually give off some pretty good lighting. So everything looks good, but let's go ahead and take off this side panel and get a better look. So let's go ahead and talk about fan positioning, because I only have 6 of these fans in total. So I had to really choose where the best position for all of these fans would be. So I've got my 2 front fans installed in the highest position possible. You can see I can actually install another one on the bottom, but I did this because it's better for CPU cooling. So these are intake fans and these are bringing fresh air in and they're going directly towards my CPU cooler fan. And then we've got 2 intake fans on the bottom going into my GPU. We've got an exhaust fan on the rear, and then we've got an exhaust fan on the top, and I've got it installed in the far left position. And the reason I did that, and one mistake a lot of people make with builds like this, is they'll add fans right here, but what happens is all the fresh air that's coming in from the front fans will come in and then immediately go into the exhaust fans. So with this setup, we have kind of an unobstructed path to go into our CPU cooler fan, and then it goes through the heatsink, and then it goes through this fan and this fan. So I felt like this was the best positioning for the amount of fans that I had. And the fans do look great. I am contemplating on whether I should take off these little side pieces or not, because they are gray. And then when I take them off, we'll have like a black look to them. And you can see this is a pretty blacked out build, so I may do that off camera. But even as is, it does look pretty good, and it does match with the rest of the build, because there's actually quite a bit of gray on this build as well. And then here's a good look at that lighting on the hub in the middle there, which I think looks really cool, and I'm not sure if I'm going to leave on or off. But the cool thing is I have the option to do that. So that's really cool. Then here's a good look at the air cooler, and I do apologize, I've got some fingerprints all over it from installing it, but it looks great. I really like this flush mount 120mm fan, and the highlight is the screen. So I've installed a lot of components that have screens, but this one looks absolutely beautiful. Like, it is super clear. You can tell this is a very high quality screen. Definitely not just an afterthought. So really like how this looks. Good colors too. It's like a light blue where it shows like your frequency, load, and power, and then all of the actual vitals are in white. So I think that looks really good. But a really clean looking build. Really happy with how this turned out. The air cooler and fans look great, but now we need to test thermals. So before jumping into the thermals, I wanted to show you the Mastercraft Sudokoo software. So it's very simple, but there's a few things here to check out. So our first tab is our dashboard tab, which is a good overview of our system. And then if we click the next one over, we have all of our computer specs. You can see I've got a 7800X3D and a 5070 Ti in this build. And then if you click the next tab, this is devices, and you can see we've got our SK700V. We've got a real-time little window of all of our specs that are also listed on the cooler. Then you can do a few things like turn the screen on and off, and then also set up temperature alerts. Then you can change the temps from Celsius to Fahrenheit if you want to. So very simple software, but felt like I should show you that. So we've been running this test for about 9 minutes now, and this is probably my 3rd pass, because I really wanted to make sure I got a good temperature reading for this. And the max temperature we saw was around 80 degrees Celsius. So let's see if I get this to focus. So 80, but it's been staying steady at around 78, 79 degrees Celsius, which is absolutely fantastic for a 7800X3D and being air cooled with just this one 120 millimeter fan on the right side. So really good thermals for this one. So let's move on to how the GPU does. So I'm using OCCT to do my GPU benchmarks, and you can see my 5070 Ti is pulling around 300 watts, and we've been staying around 70 degrees Celsius this whole time. So temperatures are absolutely perfect, and these Mach 120 fans are definitely doing their job in feeding this big old heat sink on this GPU some nice cool air. And I was also curious how the GPU would run, because the way I have the fan set up, like I was talking about earlier, it's more of a CPU cooling mode. So maybe if I moved the top fan to the bottom, or if I had an extra bottom fan for the front, maybe the temps would be a little bit lower. And I can also mess around with fan speed too, because right now it's about 1200 RPM, so I could bump it up and lower GPU temperatures, but 70 degrees Celsius I would be completely happy with if this was my system. So overall, the GPU temperatures are fantastic with this air cooler and the Mach 120 fans. What are your final thoughts on the air cooler and the fans? So I like both the air cooler and the fans. I thought the air cooler installation was extremely simple, and that's definitely because it's AM5 designated. Like, you don't have to worry about which accessories you've got to use, which socket you have, and all of that normal stuff that you have to deal with other coolers. This one, you just install the plate, you put on your thermal paste, and then you install the cooler onto the plate. So super simple. And it's just designed for that CPU and that CPU only. So really cool to see a design like that. And I hope more cooler manufacturers start implementing some of the things that Sudokoo's done. So really like the install process. I think the screen looks great, like I was talking about earlier. It's got all of the necessary vitals that I really like to keep track of. So I think that's really cool. And then the fans performed extremely well, which was almost a given considering they are 30 millimeter thick fans and they go from 500 to 3000 RPM. So if you need some serious cooling, these fans can definitely push some air and get the job done. And I like the versatility with the fans as well, considering you've got the little RGB light on the center, or I shouldn't say RGB, but you've got the lighting on the center. You've got these side panels that you can take off each fan and either just leave them off, or you can 3D print your own little panels and put them on. So I really like the versatility there. And overall, I just had a really good experience with both the air cooler and the fans. So if you're interested in checking these out, I'll leave all of the links in the pinned comment and also in the description. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you enjoy my content, like the video, share it with your friends, comment what you think, and then I'll see y'all in the next video.